So, Zapdos-Galarian has fallen to the wayside in Generation 9. What has happened to this Pokemon? What is up, folks, and I welcome each and every one of you to another Pokemon discussion video. As discussed, today we shall be talking about that Zapdos-G. What happened to Zapdos-Galarian? Why in Generation 9? One generation later did it fall off so incredibly hard? And I've basically summarized it up into 3 primary reasons, folks. Before we dive into this video, if you do enjoy this type of content and you wish to see more, consider subscribing and make sure to leave a like. It really helps us out. And if you are interested in any other competitive Pokemon discussion videos, I shall link a video as to why Hooper Unbound has suddenly become a viable Pokemon in the Generation 9 underused tier. But back to the video. So, Zapdos-Galarian, a Pokemon famed for its Choice Scarf set, having just a good enough speed stat to outspeed most relevant Choice Scarfers, and a sky-high attacking stat. Zapdos-G was one of the most difficult Pokemon to switch into reliably in Generation 8. However, in Generation 9, opponents are laughing at it, despite it also possessing the ability to terrestrialize to super boost its power while rocking the Choice Scarf. The reasons are as follows. Reason number 1, Generation 9 has a limited Pokédex, just as Generation 8 did, but many of the targets in Generation 9, in the OU metagame and below, are not really afraid of the Galarian Zapdos, like they used to be in Generation 8. For further evidence of this, if we look at the National Dex tier, Zapdos is actually banned in the underused tier, even though there are so many more powerful Pokemon available in National Dex. In fact, everybody's there. But the amount of targets that Zapdos-Galarian can actually reach into is so much more, rendering Zapdos to always have the opportunity to threaten the opponent's team. The second reason, which I also believe to be the main reason, is the limitation of 2 meta-defining tactics that we used to employ in previous generations. One being defog. Defog in this generation has a very limited distribution, and it usually finds itself being on Pokemon that are not very viable. In the olden days, everybody had defog. The reason why defog is relevant is because Zapdos-Galarian has a defiant ability, and with the side effect of defog lowering evasion, the evasion drop would have given Zapdos-Galarian a free Swords Dance essentially. The second tactic that has fallen to the wayside is Intimidate. It is no longer required that we have to intimidate any physical attacker that comes our way. Since the introduction of the Great Tusk, the catch-all physical wall, Intimidate has not really been that important in Generation 9. And because Intimidate used to be a lot more prominent, Zapdos-Galarian could make an Intimidator think twice about switching in, lest its attack be raised due to the Defiant ability. Think about it, folks. In the same generation where Empoleon got competitive, you don't really see competitive panning out for the Empoleon. Same reason. No defogs, no intimidates. And last but not least, folks, why Zapdos-G has fallen all the way down to the rarely used tier in Generation 9 is because of Species Clause. Zapdos is a Pokemon that used to have all of the best auxiliary moves and support moves to aid its team out. Hidden Power to catch your checks, Defog to remove hazards, and Zapdos was an excellent defogger, threatening most of the rapid spin blockers and many of the stealth rockers as well. Roost used to have 16 PP and now has 8, and that affects Zapdos. Zapdos even used to rock Toxic, so you could have Toxic in your arsenal, expanding the amount of team styles you could use regular Zapdos on. Such good support moves made Zapdos an excellent support and defensive staple in the overused tier. But without those moves, there's not been much use for Zapdos' talents in the overused tier. So Zapdos fell down to underused. And since Zapdos is such a great defensive Pokemon, and actually hard counters its Galarian counterpart, Zapdos-Galarian ends up not being used at all, hence it falls down to the rarely used tier. The reason why you cannot use Zapdos and Zapdos-Galarian is because of something called Species Clause. You cannot have 2 of the same Pokemon on your team. So even if they made 100 types of Zapdos out there, you can only use 1 at a time. And the fact of the matter will remain that regular Zapdos will always outclass its Galarian counterpart. And seeing as I cannot use them both on the same team, and regular Zapdos fell off, Galarian Zapdos is also doomed to fall even further down to the wayside. And there you have it, folks. No matter what buffs Galarian Zapdos may get, whether it be the ability to terrestrialize, or even the buff of receiving knockoff, As long as those primary reasons are not fixed, there is no need to use Galarian Zapdos in competitive Pokemon. It has its use cases here and there, yes, but you will not find consistent mileage out of it. Let me know what you think about Galarian Zapdos in the comments down below, folks. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think it is actually underrated? Do you think it is a grand Pokemon in Generation 9 and people just need to wake up for how good it is? Or do you think it's washed? It really is a terrible Pokemon and it will always be outclassed by Zapdos. Either way, if you did enjoy the video, as discussed, short and sweet, please be sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe if you have not done so already. We shall be doing a lot more of these. Until next time, folks, we'll be U-turning out. Thanks for watching.